So what you're saying is that you're not loving the draft, but because of the patch, it might be all cool.
Oftentimes, that's all it takes for some cool beans.
Awesome. Well, puns and double entendres inside. Honestly, it wasn't. It was like half an entendre. It was terrible.
Yeah,
It's not even a thing.
it's okay. We haven't casted together in a while.
Yeah. I actually, he's completely different from the Southeast Asian stuff that I was looking
That's
at
true.
earlier.
What have you been seeing?
I've been seeing not that. Sand King is prevalent no matter where you go because the hero is just so freaking good.
Right.
See if Come With Me can make the most happen with it. Meanwhile, those early movements out for blocking off the camps for the Dire. Penta gonna make sure that they get a good laning start. Clockwork.
We'll see how much protection they want to. So Lycan doesn't really need. He's one of those, semi-self-sufficient cores. Bristleback can cause issues, but Bristleback's going to be in the safe lane. He's not theoretical try situation. And so, yeah, not only do I kind of questions about Cool Beans' draft, but the setup also somewhat skeptical. It's so rarely seen that I won't make a call until.
Yeah, well, depend upon their play to figure out what it is. So early, the other things to probably be watching out for is if this Venomancer is going to be like fully zoned out of lane. You can't really go Plague Wards. I don't think that you can go, like, I guess the option is Poison Sting. Gale, you're not going to find a kill. I don't know what you really do at this point.
I mean, chances are he will go Plague Wars just so that he can. Words like he is very, very stat heavy. Distracting. Just alternate, jungle those camps. If we inevitably come and take it, you can Plague Wards to block out respawns of the camps. So it's not easy for. And he will have some Sand King help, as Sand King has got boots first, smoked up, and he's trying to wrap around, but this is like, it's Sand King Venom. They're not expecting a try up top, and so Venom is...
Yeah, he's going to take Gale. That means he doesn't have that jungling capacity that we're talking about. We'll see if they're going to be able to find anything with this. The Burrow Strike is through, but it's just not going to amount to anything. And honestly, if they're not careful, Come With Me is going to take a little bit more chip damage. Now you don't have the jungle opened up for Venomancer. Now you don't have another... You have one more Gale and one more Burrow Strike.
This is peculiar setup because they didn't... Radiant team did not see where Clockwork was, so it's kind of difficult to would start out in that courier snipe or some other wraparound on the safe lane, but started out top lane. Even without the Clockwork, I find it unlikely that a Sand King and a Disruptor, but they're sticking it out right now, and it's still sitting on that second 1 point and about to hit level 2, so not the biggest setback.
Mid lane, they're going to be trying to go in and make some pressure happen. Blazemon will not get clipped by that Sunstrike, and Mickey is going to get ran down. The Invoker, can they get there with the Cogs? Not going to be there, and in fact is just going to salve aggressively in his direction, and they bring in Come With Me. They might even be able to take down this Clockwork. The Cold Snap is there as well, and no way out. They get themselves first blood. They call that baited.
Yeah, once the Invoker turned around and it's like, oh, you want to take my salve off? Sure, I'm just right here, you can cog me. You need to think twice, because that's too good to be true. It is a TP rotation coming out of Insania, but Loda is a very, very...
I mean, he's just going to go pick up the Bounty Rune and be fine with it now. Blazemon, DD Rune as well. This is going to be the rotation for Clockwork. Do you think this bears fruit?
Against the Bristleback, I'm very skeptical. I mean, this Clockwork doesn't even have level 2 yet, so a Clockwork with just cogs, yeah, there's no way that a Puck can burn off some of his... But Puck doesn't... Actually, Puck has not gone for a stick. So I was gonna be like, oh, Puck doesn't care. Denied. Wants Bristle to have more stick charges. Interested. I mean, boots are great on Puck, especially against a Rubik. Once you have your illusory orb, so... spell.
Yeah. No, and I think that it's definitely a little bit peculiar, but
Let's see.
now they're going in again. They want to make it happen,
Dude,
but it's just going to be
relentless.
another Sunstrike in, and
He really needs to hit level 2.
like,
Oh, he did hit level.
I don't think that they need to be playing this aggressive mid. Like, Blazemon was having a fine time in his lane, even out CSing him, but these couple of kills have just turned it back into the favor of Invoker.
At least now Clockwork has managed level 2 after a creep in died in the mid.
Is
Wow,
there a
he's
better
going
life
for
somewhere,
more.
though? Like, make a better life for yourself,
No,
Clockwork.
no, that's it. You have to die. Bounty runes are... That's the old meta.
Jeez. Well, still relatively even in the early stages despite those two couple of kills. Where do you see the next sort of objectives for these teams? Like, the Clockwork's been rotating around. Do you just sort of wait for those bounty runes? And does he have to make things happen for his team early?
He really doesn't. Like, in my opinion, he should be kind of doing what the Sand King is. The Sand King is kind of policing the Venomancer. He's not getting too much into Veno's business, but he's soaking up levels, and Veno doesn't really... He has the bodyguard of the Sand King. Again. Oh, it's just...
Yeah. Well, DNZ, not long for this world, is going to get taken down. Nikwa there. Oh, man.
It's,
Dire's middle tower is under
at a certain point, you need to step back and be like, okay, think...
Can't outrun
Because,
wildfire.
well, Aestrin bot lane, Sania.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Oh.
Boogie chasing, the right click should be there. He will have another silence in a second, not even needed. Just a little jolt coming in from the puck, gets him away fine and dandy, and, well, a 3-1 start. Not bad at all for Cool Beans.
For what it's worth, I mean, Clockwork, since he was so low level, he's also not valuable. And I mean, Invoker just got a bunch of free time mid because it was just like, oh, you want to go gank top Clockwork? Yeah, we can do that. Well, it's true, I'm gonna go. Buys Invoker a little bit of finding some Sunstrike kills. I mean, it wasn't necessarily off of any setups other than Clockwork putting himself in bad situations, but it doesn't matter where it comes from. Sania in the top lane.
Yeah, this is big. If they can make this happen, they're going in on him. The Burrow Strike is there as well. They need the Caustic Sunstrike as well. It's not a ton of damage. The Howl is just doing a tremendous amount of work for Skeeter here, but they might be able to bring down Sania. Ends up dying to DNZ in the meantime. While all this is happening, they do finally bring down that Lycan, but it comes at a big old cost, and Nikwa might end up going down as well. So they take down the Lycan, but it costs them the cost of the Veno. I still think that's fine, though.
It's pretty even. Because to spend more TP rotations, whereas it was just sinking and fishing for stuff. Rubik TP'd and he you get 2 kills on the side of him. Costs you. I'm actually surprised that Penta were spending so much time killing Rubik. In my opinion, it's in your best interest to keep the Lycan alive, to killing some low Rubik. But just taking so much. Might somehow get spotted out inside of a kinetic field.
Yeah, there's the silence. A quick and easy kill. Really much that you could have done about that one outside of just not standing there. And, well, Penta finding their ground after what was a little bit of a frustrating lane stage. Now, the big thing that I always see as a struggle as a Clockwork roamer as opposed to the Sand King is your ability to catch back up in terms of farm and levels. Sand King's level 4, Clockwork is level 3, and I kind of am wondering if we're going to see the Sand King head back into the jungle or, you know, maybe even just take a lane for himself. Are they going to get him again? Yeah, Nikwa's dead. I don't think he's got a way to play himself out of here. Well, maybe with the Burrow Strike. Okay, glimpse, and yeah, he's going to end up dropping. They try and turn this now. See if they can take down Japs. Mickey ends up finding another kill onto Blazemon, and with the Sandstorm and no detection, it looks like they are going to be able to get away. Come with me, understanding the limits of this hero. So
yeah, I'm surprised this Invoker was able to get that solo kill off. Lena must have been trying to overplay her hand. She had Laguna Blade, so chances are she was probably fishing for some sort of setup. He stepped a little bit too far because that was a solo kill as far as I can tell. Rubik was still in the bot lane. Overall, still the Venomancer died.
Trying to contest these runes to the best of his ability and possibly slow down that farming of the Clockwork. He just needs level 6 for him to really become a factor around the map. And in the meantime, Boogie just keeps on being bullied out by Loda. Guy is not having any chill at all, and almost topping the CS right now. The only one slightly ahead is that Invoker. Those couple of kills and about to build into his Hand of Midas is setting up for a very nice mid game.
That's just the... a lot of people can...
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bristleback is... Poor man's shield now has a full hood completed. So Bristle can honestly start showing up to fights now, and Boogie's trying to soak up levels on this Invoker.
This would be big. You have a
Dream
haste
Coil.
rune. You have a haste rune as well. So this is going to be Blazemon coming in, Laguna Blade there as well to get the kill. And it's a combination of having the haste, Boogie making that rotation with Dream Coil, a nice kill.
The turn off solo kill it. Has his Midas completed now. He completed in the base after he died, so it's not like he's missing out that much. But now I'm curious to see as what Linus is seeing is out. The Soul Ring is Bloodstone first one. And he has the lead. 4th highest net worth by Radiant. But the kind of draft that Penta has, it looks like, I mean, it's in spam, isn't Wolf Prowl.
Yeah, wants to get a little something
Nice
and is going to get the deny off on the Clockwork. He's been dying too much, so he says, all right, I'll just take you out myself. And now dodging the Sunstrikes. Wants to make sure he doesn't end up getting hit by this one. It is still on cooldown, 6 more seconds. We'll see if Mickey decides to throw that one out. Bottom lane, they're pressing up again. The big problem that I'm seeing right now for Penta is going to be the levels on those supports. Still level 3 on the Disruptor, and then meanwhile you take a look at the Clock who's stuck at level 4. If they don't get these levels in time and into fighting form, it could be a really, really rough mid-game for them.
Glimpse onto Loda, but this is not someone
not
that
happening.
you can go on. You have Laguna Blade, but like, great, you're gonna make just 10 quills shoot out.
Yeah, Blazemon might die just passively here if he's not careful. Like,
he's waiting for an opening. He's just like, maybe now.
It's not happening. Like, you've got a hood done on Loda. He does not care at all.
They spent Dream Coil for that, and there are 3 heroes chilling down here. But yeah, that was very often. I feel like they almost like didn't even click on him until they got into the lane, and he's like, wait a second, he just hood up, change of plans.
It looks like he
Top
made the decision
lane,
to switch
Epicenter.
back. Are they going to get him? No, he's just out of there. Skyder, good decision just to get himself away. So Loda actually is going to go back for the Arcanes. He had Treads boosted up first. What do you think is the idea behind this? Talk to me a little bit about this.
Yeah, this is interesting. One of the biggest things is that whenever we do see Bristleback, it's very often combined with Crystal Maiden. And this game, there's no real reason to build like no one ever goes Octarine first. Lotus Orb will be nice at a certain stage to be able to deal with Puck's silence, but I think he's probably just going to keep it as Arcanes for a while. It's a little bit surprising to me seeing as how Loda is indeed the 1 position, and his right clicks are substantial against them. They're not particularly high armor heroes that you're... And so, yeah, Quill Spray is a lot of physical damage. Bristleback is a right clicker with Warpath stacks as well, so I'm surprised that he goes for... Maybe he just wants to be able to continue pulling people out of lane as opposed to...
Yeah.
Got a Wolf.
Here top, trying to take down Jabs before he ends up falling. Does look like that one's going to happen.
No, he's dead.
Yep, he goes down. So they are going to be able to take him. And now next up, it's DNZ. I believe that was a Sunstrike hit onto him as well, but not quite a kill.
So close to level 6. That bounty rune is not going to get him quite yet. Clockwork is approaching hookshot territory, and Puck has managed to get enough done in the offlane that Puck can kind of join the Clockwork, because the time for Clockwork to get solo kills, like, that's not going to happen. Much better start to even dream of any one of these. And even if you did get a good start, Bristleback's not easy to kill, as said before. Sand King's not Burrow Strike, drag you out of the cogs, although that he's somewhat easy. So, yeah, but that's not going to happen. Boogie has Blink Dagger money on this Puck, so they can start making stuff happen after hook shots up and run.
I mean, that's the thing, is they have to wait for hook shot. Oh, it's actually there now, actually. But they have to wait for disruptor ulti, possibly, unless they want to go as just like a two-person gank and make something happen in that fashion, which is definitely a possibility. But the targets around the map, like, you don't want to make that move for support. Probably the Invoker is the best bet.
The Invoker is the best target, but the problem is that whatsoever.
Who turned up the heat?
And smokes up. Not really doing the Sand King elsewhere.
I like this play by Mickey too. Just drop down the rock, don't show in lane for that long, and in the meantime, Come With Me is going to be able to find himself possibly a kill onto anybody that comes to test for this tower. So by and large, it feels like right now Cool Beans are making the moves that they need to around the map. You might end up losing Nico up here top, but this is a perfectly fine kill at this point. You don't mind losing the Venomancer here, I don't think, is Drink Coil, everything dropped, he's fine, it's a death.
Yeah, it's a heavy commitment. I don't know why hookshot wasn't necessary. I thought, well, you've got Lycan. He shows up, the same with Insania. Maybe over their head.
Oh, turn it back around, trying to take down jabs. They have the lift there onto the Lycan. Sunstrike,
steal.
they end up connecting onto it. That is going to become with me very low. Burrow strikes onto two, and he wasn't quite able to get the epicenter off. It was a nice try, but it wasn't quite there. Nonetheless, it was going to be a kill on the Disruptor via the Sunstrike from Mickey.
And Rubik managed to get out by the skin of his teeth. Very well stealing the shapeshift from Lycan and sprinting his way out of almost certain death.
Alright, so let's bring a little bit of clarity to where we're at for the game. It feels to me like this is still Invoker show, but you've got the Lina and the Lycan that are posing a bit of a problem. What do you think is going to be the big determining factor for this game? Is it how the next couple team fights go? Is it more dependent upon like the objectives that get taken around the map? What's the big thing to you that's going to decide which way this game tilts?
It's going to be team fights, but it's going to be delayed team fights, because oftentimes whenever you cite like, oh, okay, these first items are really going to start changing the pace of this game. Thing is that Sand King's pretty broke, Clockwork's pretty broke. These are both the playmakers for both teams, and so if one had like a significantly higher head start than the other, I'd be like, oh, Sand King's got his Blink Dagger, it's time to start partying. He's a long ways away from it, so there's still going to be a bit of a delay before you start seeing the game start shifting one. Cool Beans does have a K net worth advantage right now, but it's nothing too secure. Set the stage to
want to try and make this move in towards mid. If they could catch Come With Me, it'd be a big one, but Loda is in the area. Is that gatekeeper, and I don't think you want to drop even a Static Storm at this point onto the Bristleback. There's just no way to find that kill. So this big smoke rotation into the jungle is not going to bear fruit. They're going to have to content themselves for the tier 1 tower, but guess what? You've already lost 2 tier 1 towers at this point for Penta, and setting up for continuing that pressure up top, maybe even. I mean, Nico can just push passively with the wards and cause problems, but an unfortunate situation right now. God, I'd hate to be like it in this game.
You're not really this game. It's way too much motivation. You need the rest of your team if you. Now, Aghanim Scepter is completed on Invoker, and Rubik has managed to steal a 4 points in the Howl. So, if they wanted to do stuff on Cool Beans, they can, but chances are they're still going to hold out until Come With Me, which is actually not farming. They're giving Loda the jungle, which Loda seems far enough ahead that it's not entirely necessary. And wow, I think he is going to go on to Reed first. That seems...
I mean, he could be going back for Vanguard also. It's a possibility.
After you complete that Arcane Boots, he's gone for this Vid Booster, and so, I mean, yeah, I don't really know.
So the other thing to keep in mind here, I think the reason that they are doing that with Loda is because they wanted to farm him in the less safe position, which we saw those movements through. They didn't have a ton of wards in here, the Radiant, and so it was constantly blocking the ganks that were coming in towards where they wanted to pick off the Invoker. They've just been playing this entire game around making sure Mickey has a good stage and is able to get what he wants.
Yeah, that is true, but then as the other supports of Cool Beans, like you can't just, like, Bristleback's a Bristleback, you don't need to watch him farm.
Yeah.
You go elsewhere on the map.
Totally.
So, I mean, things are still going fine. They claimed that Tier 1 mid, all Tier 1s have claimed inside of Penta Esports, so I mean, I was skeptical of Cool Beans' draft, but they're executing it fairly well, and they have very solid late game to boot, so they have passed the most difficult phase, but it's all going to be dependent on initiation and team fights.
Maybe Loda just goes straight hard. The dream.
I can't say I've ever seen that before, but I would love to.
Yeah.
He's sitting on 3k gold right now. And if he wanted to get the point booster, he would have gone to the secret shop. So I know what he's doing right. I mean, it's nothing wrong. I'm just very curious what he's doing right now.
Oh, for sure. Come With Me is going to get chased down here. Boogie's in the area. The hookshot's going to connect as well as the dream foiled. So again, it's a kill on the Sand King, but he's back up in 28 seconds, and he has this whole full assortment of abilities.
Dude,
meanwhile,
maybe
they
he's
don't.
going Radiance. On Bristle.
Maybe.
Yes.
And just casual Vit.
Yeah. I mean, this is Loda is one who definitely like dynamically adapts his build to the historically.
Yeah. Oh, he's got something.
Oh,
This.
pipe.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's fine.
definitely preferred pipe over Vit because there is not that much
Radiant's
to.
bottom tower is under attack.
The thing is that it doesn't seem like Cool Beans want to fight, and pipe is the kind of item that you're like, okay, well, we have a lot of mitigation. Sania. Yeah, I don't really know when. Oh wow. Wolfmon
They want to
coming
go.
out,
They
yeah.
have Disruptor ulti as well, so they're going to go on to Nikwa here. Try and get him off. Can they get it? They caught loaded. Jabs. That was not a play.
Smoke snap.
What happened right there?
I mean, I think he was really hoping to be able to get that static shock off before Thunder Strike off before Nikwa blinked out, and then after that he was just mashing the glimpse button. Loda happened to walk into it, and he was just like, well, this is not working anymore, I'm gonna leave. Tried to TP out, but Mike was in the vicinity. Old snap red. At least Static Storm wasn't spent. Although, I mean, honestly, it's a very short cool spell, so maybe you should have led with the Static Storm, but...
Well, 2,000 net worth and experience lead right now is where we're at for Cool Beans. It feels to me like they let this Invoker get everything that he wanted in his laning stage, and this is one of those Invoker games where I always feel like I'm playing more against myself than I'm playing against the enemy team. It's like, whatever decisions I make, as long as I make the correct ones, there's not much they can do to stop me. Do you feel like that's the case, or do you feel like Penta is still in a solid position? I guess finding a kill here would be big. Sounds there onto the Sand King. They've got him caught. Laguna Blade used. A lot of hate for a little.
But he tanks the gank. PK once again walks out.
Oh my god! They got him!
Wow. That's what you get as a clockwork for being 5, I guess. He has a hood, but that's not going to help you against Sunstrike.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under
Another
attack.
clockwork kill by the Invoker. And they're pressuring the tier 2 tower. They just look like a well-oiled machine right here. Cool Beans! The
what I'm
team
saying.
that nobody believed in.
Everyone was like, oh, well, Alliance has to be worse now, or Loda's going to be worse. It's going to be okay for both parties. And so far, that seems to be the case.
9 to 12. Like clockwork is still in the vicinity. Like, I feel like if they want to take a full fight, they really need all of their abilities to be up. Just because of how tanky Bristleback is, and he's always going to be the middle of a fight. You can't really avoid him because there's too much of his cool sprays anyways.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's much like the kind of... Sania gets on clockwork. Wow.
Yo, we gotta talk. The DNZ.
Yeah, I don't know what's gotten into him today. I mean, I don't know how familiar... I'm not very familiar with him as a player, but almost certainly this is not his standard.
I don't think that it's like the worst thing in the world. Again, you're positioned for these things happen, but
Sunstrike.
oh,
Down goes the Blaze
damn.
One.
All right, well, they wanted it, but it was not meant to be, and Loda's gonna get away with that one. It really feels like, I don't know, maybe there's like little, it doesn't feel clean at all.
Well, that has been has somewhat been the trend for EU Dota, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people look at qualifiers and if Secret doesn't get
Gold for me.
the region has kind of gotten a little, so it's a little bit sloppy right now, but you know, you can see glimpses. Oh, epicenter mid lane. Poor Dio. Okay, now at this point I feel bad for him because like he had like a bad start, but now it's just like someone is at crutches and they're trying to walk around and kicking the crutch. Please, I'm just trying to recover.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
And it's not like he has like one of those Midases that you're like, all right, whatever, you can. Because he has gone for a hood that is only useful as an item to keep you alive. It's not keeping you alive, then you have just spent 1.7k gold on nothing for, I guess, like some each. Again, it's to keep you alive.
Yeah, and I mean, I do feel like he's been put in a difficult position. They wanted him to, like, what, set up kills early on. Probably the biggest thing that would have been able to change it might have been like his early movements in towards Invoker instead going somewhere else. I feel like that early bait that happened mid really got into his head maybe. I mean, it's pointless to speculate about what it is. We should focus more on, you know, what's actually happening in the game, which is a gank onto the Invoker who's been left untouched the entire time. The Wolves are keeping vision onto him. The hook shot in.
Okay.
This is what they need. Every damn thing thrown on the Invoker's head. That's 500 gold each of them.
Goes to my boy Clockwork. Alright, so that's the early step in recovery plan. He is going to, he looks like he's opting to complete out the full pipe. Bristle hasn't really used his pipe, and he is going for Radiance on the Bristleback.
Right.
Okay.
Do it.
I'm on board with that. I mean, pipe is going to get burned off almost instantly from the Clockwork, but that's okay. That means that your Venomancer Poison Nova is just going to tick the hell out of the enemy team, and you can't really take a team fight for very long. That's what Bristleback loves. He's like, okay, fine. If you want to start a team fight, I'm going to extend it for as long as possible. I'm going to try to deal as much damage for as long as possible. Same thing with Venomancer. Same thing with building Radiance. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of this item choice.
Yeah, I think that it definitely feels different from what you're used to seeing, which is mainly like the back's trying to get tanky, and it's sort of tanky, but the way it's tanky is in avoiding right clicks, and that isn't really a concern like we talked about this game. So I do worry what happens if Bristleback starts dying. Like, this is an item that I don't think lets you get further ahead necessarily, except that you farm a little bit more effectively with it, but also you're not trying to like farm a bunch on Bristleback, right? So it does feel like they need to stomp with it. And if there's a way where somehow Penta could start finding kills on that Bristleback, take him out at the start of the fight, then things start to turn around a little bit.
It would be riskier if he didn't have such good secondary cores.
Yeah.
Invoker's got this Midas Aghanim Scepter, he's going for a BKB. The Venomancer's got a Blink Aghanim Scepter Midas, so both of these secondary cores are more than ready to take the mantle if Bristleback happens to fall, which is already still like a very, there's a tall order for Penta Esports to pull that off. So I'm not too, I mean, it's the same reason why Bristleback went for these Arcane Boots. He doesn't really care about having to be the dedicated right clicker, and he's just there to draw aggro from the enemy space, and he happens to manage to kill people having his back turned, then that's...
And look at DNZ here. He knows what was happening to him earlier. He's going to back out this time as the gank comes through. He's learning. We're doing it, guys. The rest of the team's going to show up now. Penta Esports, they're in the same position. They scan it out. All right, this is looking a hell of a lot better from them than what happened before. They've got their feet under him. Tsunami, will it work?
If they do, I mean, I think it's in their best interest to not challenge this. So, okay. Not fighting is, yes, working. Blazemon has gone for a Silver Edge, so that's going to be one source of mitigation for the Bristleback, but I don't really know if it'll be enough, because he still has the pipe, still has the rest of his team behind him. He's got his first point in null filled, but now that his other two spells are maxed out, more. So it's so difficult. Bristle. Silver Edge is usually like the go-to item, but that's Bristle maybe a situation where you have more damage. Penta doesn't really have.
And they are just going to watch that tower go down. There was a chance they could have gone. For just a second there, Cool Beans caught eyes on Blazemon, so they saw him before he went Shadow Bladed, and well, it does look like now it's going to be time for the rest of Cool Beans just to back out, farm their jungle, get into their next level of items, and possibly think about the big bad Roshan man, but probably not for a little while still.
Double damage.
Puck. Normally I would say you need to get the clockwork. It's not now or a pre-Roche fight. Cool Beans, they have net worth advantage. Definitely shows. They haven't really been playing too aggressive, placing too much to take advantage of that lead. But again, like the incentive, you've got 2 minuses. That's 0 minuses on duck.
All right, Getter, 5,000 net worth in the bucket behind the enemy teams, but he's got the Mask of Madness, he's got the BKB. That was a nice little Void Stone to boot, or not, excuse me, not Void Stone, Hyper Stone, the other type of stone. So I feel like he's getting into the situation where he can start to do more Lycan-oriented, pushing down these side lanes, going for the split push tactic, as they have caught him. Yet again, Mickey gonna go down.
He doesn't really need to go for these tactics, especially the tier 2 tower is down. There's not much to gain. But yeah, Lycan is definitely going to start doing Lycan.
Getting this one would be huge here. It does look like they maybe want to come and contest it. You don't
Invoker's
want to have to
dead.
buy back on this Invoker. It would really hurt.
That death is actually very expensive.
Walking forward, they got the lift up. Illusory Orb stolen. Then Loda is still there. He got broken. There's going to be a lot of damage coming into him. The silence is there as well, but the epicenter turnaround. Come with me, trying to make the plays. They have the silence out. It's not really that much, but it does look like they're going to be able to bring down the Bistleback. And now DNZ brought down low as well. They're managing to break the Venom, so his damage output's going to be significantly less. And I think Penta Esports are going to win this one. Oh my god, the Sand Kick turnaround. They get the Nye as well to make sure that she heals up the Lycan to stay alive long enough. Is it going to be enough though? Dodging away from the Sunstrike, the DOT's still coming in, but it's not going to be enough to kill off Lycan. Lina saving her cores.
Shot onto the roof pick.
They got him kicking out as well, and so by and large at the end of the day, Penta dominate that team fight.
That's such an expensive Invoker death, and well played by Penta to capitalize that on as heavily as possible. They, like, normally in most situations, Lycan's Roche. Gotten the kill on the Invoker, let's just secure Roche. But they were like, I really want to have to make it. So they took a fight. They were gonna get Roche guaranteed, but Clockwork was like, whatever, let's just make Invoker, think about buying back, and if he can't buy back, then of course we'll win the fight. We can win the fight in the pit without him, we can win the fight out of the pit. So they initiate onto the Radiant Ancients, and it wasn't the cleanest, but they managed to isolate Bristleback initially, get a large portion of damage while he was broken, and then after that, Loda was on the run, but that's the thing, like if Bristleback's on the run, he's not in the fight, he's not dealing that Radiance damage, you got him right where you want.
Now you're in a great position to dominate the next couple of minutes as well. The downside is you didn't quite get Roshan for Penta. So by and large for Cool Beans, still the objective was kind of secured even though they gave up so much of that advantage that they had. I think that not getting Roche is, or rather saving the Roshan from going to Penta is probably enough of a worthwhile adventure that it works for them.
The thing is that Cool Beans can't really easily take the Roche, and so they have to constantly police it because, like, Roche hasn't been taken. So they're like, we have to dedicate a lot of resources. Like, Forge Spirits in there, wants to be ready at any given time to be able to go back into the pit. So even though they don't get the Roche, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like the paradox where you're just like, like Schrodinger's rook. It's there, and like I don't have the Aegis, or they have the Aegis, and I still have to work. So it's not too big of a.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, and Blazemon has found himself potentially a pickoff here. Come with me is dead. Again, the power of Lina shown since. Yeah, having a hell of a good time.
Well, having a better time. She still was down to 8 bloodstone charges, but
She's top net worth, though.
she's top net worth.
It's feeling like this is one of the games where, again, Lina can just show her prowess. And Insania, this is not the place to be. You literally
you just saw
like,
Sand King die.
It's less than a screen width apart. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, especially because like if it was a bait, then it would have been a great bait. But Invoker wasn't in the area. Bristleback wasn't in. Just kind of changed that.
All right. Well, Cool Beans showing a little bit of the problems now, and again, they've gone for these builds which they're not entirely like uncommon. Like this isn't unheard of from Bristleback build, but it does have its drawbacks. One of which is that if you're not stomping in team fights, it can sometimes fall off a little bit, and you don't have that survivability that you need.
With an Octarine, it may indirectly provide survivability. Oh, that's now Blazemon. So, Octarine Core does provide some survivability, both in terms of Quill Spray and because of the Radiance, but... Oh wow, he went for... Lotus just really going all over the build.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's fine.
I actually like the Blade Mail a lot. That's one of those that can really make a big difference, particularly if Puck does go back for like the Dagon build eventually when he gets to level 25, which is not that far away now. Not to mention what Lina brings to the table.
Yeah, because basically as soon as Lina Key immediately pops Blade Mail, it's like, oh, you want to break and kill me? Well, then you're all my HP, which, like you said, he hasn't really got HP boosting on. He's still a strength hero, he still has 2k HP, and he's still gonna have the...
Oh, they got him. Good lift up right there. They find it. The stun comes through onto 2 as well. Can they bring them down? They are caught inside of this for the moment, but I think that Bristleback perfectly fine. They drop the Laguna Blade onto Nico, but he's still chasing and is going to be able to chase down and run down yet another. The Venom ulti doing so much work in this fight. Lina gone for 6 seconds, and it looks like they might be able to take even more. The Invoker is there. They pop the BKB, turn to fight. Mickey goes for the Ghost Walk away. Doesn't look like he's able to walk out of there. Oh,
His
no.
dog has been chasing cars, and he just can't catch a single one. Nico had used his trees massively to his advantage. This Lycan was just A-clicking all over the place, but could not finish off the Venomancer. Lycan goes invisible after getting cold snapped. The Courier was delivering something to Lycan, and he dies. And Cool Beans taking a very solid fight. Initially, Lina was just pounding into Invoker. Invoker was just not doing any damage in return, but eventually Lina's BKB timed out, and Bristleback was able to just go to town.
And they go immediately into Roshan. They want to try and take this. They do have hook shot back up and available if they want to try and make this initiation. They have an Invis rune outside of this as well. Might be good to pick that up, just try and block the way. They have Wolves in the area as well. Insania has the Invis now. Have another flare out. They need to go in right now if they want to make it happen. They drop the Venom ulti. They jump in, but already the Aegis is there. Tornado comes out as well. Onto 2 of them. They have the kinetic field down as well. So now the silence is keeping that Invoker pinned in. It does look like he's going to be able to walk out now, though. There's the Invis running away. Still has the dust on top of him. The Lycan trying to run him down. How much more longer duration? They're not going to be able to do it. He's slowed down all the hell. And it looks like with that, Mickey gets out by the skin of his teeth.
Still an expensive Roche engagement. I don't know if they got the cheese or Clockwork match to jack it. Oh wait, was that actually the first Roche?
That was the first Roche of the game.
Yeah. So they attempted to go for the counter a little bit too late, and it's difficult. When you're going up against Veno wards, like, it's so impossible for these supports to be able to, like, yeah, okay, I can also join it on this contest, which they did initially when Clockwork hookshot it in. They did shortly after, and so that's what helped win the remainder of the fight and finish off the Bristleback, which it's not often that you see the Bristleback being one of the only casualties of a fight, but Penta has been doing a really good job at focusing down.
Yeah, and again, it's you make yourself a target. It's good because it means that your Invoker is able to kind of have free reign in these fights. And I think that now you're looking at this tri-core that's just so hard to deal with, and then Sand King and Rubik provide everything else that you need. Just that little bit of disable, possibly the repositioning coming in as well from the Force Staff and Rubik, and you know, I feel like they're in a great position to close out this game now, or at the very least, start thinking about attempting high ground.
Ancient was bristleback.
This is not where you want to. You don't want to go on Loader like this.
Well,
I mean, they have the Silver Edge, but I still don't think this is good.
Though. I mean, oh, okay, now it's not. It very quickly became not just Loda. Wisely bet.
I mean, that's the thing. Even if they engage him right there, like, you saw how quickly everybody from Cool Beans was there as well.
And plus, they're still fighting into an 8. And so he's still sitting on.
I guess the other nice thing about this Radiance is that the Wolves aren't going to be able to stay near him in Viz. Like,
they can stay pretty long. So they have super high magic resist, but they're... So, but I mean, him quick spread as well.
Alright, Penta, maybe now, going to be the ones initiated on. You have yourselves an Octarine core done? Or, I caught a little bit of that lag as well. But we should be good in just a second now as they're wrapping around for the opening. There's a hook shot available. Z, does he decide to go in this? They do now realize that Loda is here. Everybody else should be behind.
When do you feel confident? Like, how good of an opening can you get that you're like, oh yeah, we can kill him? Look at him. He has no idea what the enemy team is. Now he knows where Clockwork is.
Yeah, DNZ's gone. He's out of mana now as well. They're running away on Sand King. Come with me. Just able to make his escape. They're not going to be able to run him down. They get the break onto the Bristleback, but still so... And the Burrow Strike connects on to 3. So much damage coming out. They have a ton of right clicks coming in from the leader, but is it going to be enough to take that big one? It will. Can they find any more? Mickey trying to bring down another, but the Static Storm, it takes through the Aegis. Okay, maybe they're going to be able to clean this up now. Insania is brought down as well. Loda's still standing tall. But with that ulti wearing off, maybe the tornado, it's not quite going to be there. And it looks like the Lycan escapes, but still, a good fight for Penta in spite of the fact they had to run away.
They had to run away, but they get 3 kills. They burn off the Aegis, which was ticking down. It still had probably like another half on it, but that just, I mean, in general, you see the power. DNZ actually managed to survive, which is crazy to me, because after he hookshot it in, I think he used hookshot, and then like while the projectile was out, he got EMP'd and ran out of mana like in flight. So I thought he was dead for sure after that. No chance for Cogs, no chance for battery assault, but he managed to survive. Got another hookshot, which didn't really do anything, but he got back into the fight, and he's surviving. That pipe is starting to pay dividends, and the rest of Penta are being able to follow up. And Bristleback wasn't really at the forefront of the fight, because like Loda was kind of toying around. They find the Clockwork, and after that, Clockwork was like, okay, I'm just going to bring the fight to you. He hookshots in, then great Burrow Strike by the Sand King, great follow-up by the Venomancer, but those are the 2 heroes that need to come after the Bristleback. Instead, they came before the Bristleback.
And I think the other wanted to burst through that Disruptor before he got the Static Storm off. I think if you do that, you win the fight handedly, but then he got stuck inside of it, and obviously that totally disrupts everything. And I'm still feeling like there is a way if Penta get all their spells off that they can take these fights, even though it's like really hard to fight into the Bristleback. And I feel like he needs to go for a BKB on Bristleback. Like, he kind of walked away from that fight, which I think was the right decision. But imagine how much tankier and how much more hard of a fight it would have been if Loda's just able to run into pop BKB and suddenly break doesn't matter anymore.
Well, break will still matter. Welcome to 7.06.
Oh, right, of course, I'm garbage. Oh, lol, NA caster, lol.
But, generally speaking, I'm not a big fan of BKB on Bristleback, but given this specific build, I can agree with that. The reason I don't like BKB on Bristle usually as... Man, they can get that... Oh, wow.
Yeah, they found the other one.
As a Bristleback, oftentimes you want to get damaged by the enemy team, and if you're immune to spell damage, that means...
Oh my god, they caught him!
BKB activated.
Right, there
that's still that's a 9-second BKB use, so... Pretty solid by Penta. That's going to be down, so they may be able to get this tier 2. But yeah, so since Loda has gone for this combat build, a BKB makes sense because that means that you can, like you said, get knee-deep in fight and not have to be concerned about any of the crowd control and anything else. The damage you're perfectly fine tanking as a Bristleback. But it's getting Dream Coiled and deal with cog burns and fields and LSAs. That's going to be
the... Loda.
Somehow I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for Magnum sometimes.
Yeah. Or
Great. still does not do very much damage against the pipe though.
Yep, the BKB pop. They want to fight this one. Nick A
Joker
under
doesn't have his
control,
BKB.
rolled down. They got him taken out, and now Nick will also to fall. Oh, Penta, they're coming back strong, and they want to take some more as well. The hook shot in. It's going to be able to find another. They steal hook. Don't know if it's going to be enough to actually turn this fight back around because Penta will march up on the high ground if they want. Epicenter trying to find it. Able to back out again. They are going to be able to bring down the Sand King. Just too much damage from the Lina. These right clicks have been immense and decides to go back in. That's going to be the Shadow Blade. She wants to turn now onto Loda to get the Light Strike away, but there's going to be the Blade Mail, and suddenly all the action ceases. It's like, come at me, guys.
Ruby's still thinking about it, but there's no way. I mean, you definitely don't want to have to give up gem on it. So they back out, and it's concede the cost of. Yeah, I know. That is a lot coming out from especially like. Well, yeah, because she is level 25, so yeah, she's a pretty strong right-click core at this stage of the game.
And the other problem that you're going to have too is with the AC always up and online, the minus armor that's built in together, Blazeman going back into the crit now as well. Lots of damage from far away. I wonder if you start thinking about maybe investing into other blade mails, or you know what it is? This is the item, Halberd for Venno. When that's done, that's big.
That's not one that's really outside the realm. Go out of his way.
That should help.
It's a pretty natural build-up for a Venno these days, and so that will be an issue. She needs to be able to consistently be taking advantage of these fiery soul sticks. Disarm lasts for longer on ranged heroes, so the thing is that Lycan is still Lycan, and he's managed to complete a Basher, he's worked on that Abyssal Blade, so you can only disarm one target at a time. Repeatedly said that Loda has not really gone for the traditional build. He is now going for a heart after completing out all of his other. He's been taking a world tour of the shop, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, heart makes sense. It's going to take him up. It's going to make Blade Mail even more intimidating whenever he finally gets broken. So, logical next step.
The other I feel like Penta's crossed the threshold. You have this puck now with the level 25 talent, and is building into Dagon's. So much gold coming in, so this little bit of time where it's just spent static is heavily favoring Penta, not to mention the fact that look at this Lina's inventory right now. She has so much freaking damage coming out, and I don't really see how Cool Beans win a fight, barring like just a perfect Invoker combo with everything leveled out on top of it.
Yeah, initially said, oh, okay, this is it's related. That works in your favor. Lina's itemization, play, and the recovery by Clockwork is actually one of the things. Time and time again, I said, initiation is the way DNZ was kind of botching the early game. I was just like, I don't really Clockwork to be seamlessly transition into a strong initiator phase, but DNZ has been doing a lot of great work, chaos in fights, and getting initiating hook shots in.
Well, we'll see if they're going to be able to make any other plays to turn this back around for them. Maybe a Rubik Ag Scepter would be quite good. Like we saw the hook shot turned around earlier. If Rubik was able to get the hook shot in with Aghanim's one, that could start to really play a big deal with especially against the Lycan, you know, piercing the BKB and all that other stuff.
Well, Rubik doesn't have it.
Well, right, that's what I'm saying, is that if you can get into that type of gold potentially.
Top.
This is the way to go. They go in onto it. The hook shot's there, but already, oh my god, Rubik is going to take so much damage from this. And well, Loda, BKB, or rather Blade Mail already popped. They turned out a fight. BKB pops from the other one. Look at the Invoker. He didn't stand a chance. Oh, lordy. Have mercy. Blazeman is a monster.
Can we open up this fight recap?
Give it to me.
I think he may have beat his high score from the, I want to see how big this red bar is underneath the Lina, because that Invoker just got obliterated. Activated the BKB and was just like, oh, I'm probably the right clicks are too much to bear. Where's my fight recap?
Get it back to me, I want to see it. All right, they're gonna buy back before we get to see it. The recap is not gonna be there. We'll get to see the damage stats at the end of the game at the very least, but suffice to say, she hits pretty damn hard.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, that was
6,000 damage.
the thing about that. That's how much damage she dealt in the last fight, but this was over like 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. So I guess the game had to crunch the numbers on that one. It was just like, there's no way this is actually.
Can't comprehend what's happening.
We don't have integers that go this high. But Blazemon takes the cheese. It just goes the way of the Lycan. It's still a reasonably strong high ground defense from Radiant. Venomancer has hit level 25 and has 3x Plague Ward HP and damage. Been setting up a little wall on the mid lane themselves, and really Niqua doesn't need to go around farming. As long as Venomancer is alive, it's pretty difficult. At least Lina does have pretty good range, but you need the Lina and the like actively sieging, because Lina's BKB is whittling down to 6 seconds right now, so you can't really just like expect to safely get out of a fight.
Oh, completely. And I guess the other thing too to keep our eyes on here, you mentioned the 25 talent. You've got the Invoker now with 18-sec cooldown, so more ways to spam out the waves of creeps that are coming in, and they haven't lost a Rax as of yet. The big problem is, of course, just always going to be those team fights and needing to take the perfect one. So we'll have to watch and see how this goes. The other thing is like that ramp up of damage that you want from the Bristleback. It's just not possible with the levels of damage that are being dealt by Penta. He doesn't have time to do it.
Even if he hasn't really been putting too much. Like,
Yeah.
Like we said, like, oh, you can't leave. They have been leaving away with it. You could go on the backline, finish off this Disruptor, finish off this Invoker. And after that, you can just start pounding Loda.
Oh god, Dagon, it comes out. They do have the turnaround. This might be the beginning of something beautiful. Can they get it all off? Blazemon turning to fight. He takes down Niqua. Maybe gonna take down another Mickey. He's actually gonna eat the cheese. He turns to fight. Oh, there's gonna be the Dream Coil as well. They got the vision. They got the kill. A double as well is Lycan. He's dealing the damage as well. At this point, and Bristleback trying to stay alive. It's not gonna happen. Triple kill for Lycan.
Jabs, no.
Oh, it's all gone wrong. And that is 100 seconds, no Invoker, 90 seconds, no Bristleback.
And Venomancer bought back after that fight, and he had one of the most unfortunate Poison Novas possible. He was about to die, just popped it. Puck was phase shifted at that moment, Lina was Yules at that moment, and Blazemon had actually backpacked his crystals. Still has about 8, but yeah, he had the cheese active in his inventory because he knew that he could get away with getting dangerously close in HP. That Sunstrike, if it had just come a little bit later, it probably would have been too much burst damage for Blazemon to react, but it came like halfway through, he had like 15% HP, popped cheese, and then proceeded to win the rest of the fight.
Oh, look at that, the all chat coming in from Skeeter. After the frustrating start to the game, they're going to be able to take down most likely Cool Beans, and well, it looked really bad at times. It was quite bad at times, particularly for our Clockwork player, but he ended up redeeming himself. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Impressive to see that. And now with almost mega creeps, if Cool Beans want a way back into this, they really need to bust it out at this point.
Yeah, either that or Penta are a mistake, but they know what's at stake here, so they back out after Penta got that Aghanim's Poison Nova on the bot Rax, and even though there is 1 Rax remaining, Bristleback didn't have buyback and don't
Money to burn.
push too hard and excessively to get out clean. Bide their time. 26k net worth advantage. Lycan still has the Apis for so. I think it's in their best interest to make moves quickly, but you know, don't kill yourself literally. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Fuck, it's just monster. 6,000 gold in the bank.
Where are the moon shards? Lina could.
That's a good point.
Lina does have a moon shard. Okay.
There you go.
And Lycan does not have one. Also has plenty of.
Yeah, they're stacked. Nobody is really hurting for gold at this point. Oh man, the Lina really felt like it was a big game changer when she hit that talent ability. She started hitting like a shotgun, and now going to be able to find Come With Me possibly. They spot him. They know there's the lift. They pull her back again. Epicenter out. They steal Light Strike Array. Not going to connect because the BKB is already there. And now they could go for the coil, but damage still being dealt. They have the gem on that puck. Is giving vision. Stunned forever for life. Doesn't have anywhere left to go. They're bringing him down. Is going to be a kill. It's a lot of damage going forward onto this Clockwork as well as the puck, but there's the Yule Scepter lift up. They're going to be fine. Oh no. Okay. Oh. Hey. And then the smoke immediately.
Whoa!
I mean, it's not the alt chat version, but
no,
you know.
It's not, and that's definitely a moral boost for sure.
You're befuddled.
I'm very befuddled because Invoker, like, I thought he was dead, and I would have done the same thing that Penta did. It was really clever, and most likely unintentional. Puck Dream Coiled the Invoker. It's an Aghanim's Dream Coil, and then Clockwork had Cog bounced him to break the Dream Coil as he was getting shocked out. Yeah. And so obviously you're like, okay, well, we should totally kill this. The thing is that he got bounced into Shrine range. So an ally activated the Shrine, and Invoker suddenly was looking like a bristleback, how much he was regenning. So it took a lot of resources to finally kill off that Invoker. And during all that time, the rest of Pentasport's backlines and their not cores were getting hammered by the bristleback and dying to the Poison Nova. So maybe a little bit too tunnel vision, and I don't really know why. Like, once Lina got spotted out by that center ward in the mid lane, you kind of need to be like, okay, this wraparound didn't work. He was looking for some sort of flank attempt that you can like, okay, just finish off this target. I can go down if it's like the Rubik. Just start out this fight with a 5, but he got spotted out by the sentry ward, and he kind of stuck around for a little bit, and immediately Cool Beans was like, okay, well, she's the only one mid. All of our other teammates are near the top lane. We could probably kill her. They didn't kill her, but they still made the team fight so disorienting for Oh, Cool Beans ended. And now Loda? Oh no.
Yeah, he's playing it safe. I do feel like it's, you know, about the perfect fight that you could have had for Cool Beans, and it still wasn't everything. It needed buybacks, and you look at the buyback status right now. Currently, Radiant don't quite have enough gold, or that's on cooldown for several more of them. Maybe actually there's an opportunity here. If they could win another fight, string a couple more of these together, maybe they have a chance. There have been bigger comebacks before in history of Dota.
Yeah, and especially Loda is no stranger to those kinds of himself. But really no 20 surmountable for this Radiant team. Most of their heroes are kind of at this point. Bristleback, yeah, he can buy a Moon Shard, but that's really Voker. Also, he can get rid of. He's going to get rid of this Midas for the Sheep Stick, but even then, Puck is just like stacking gold up. It has not given a Moon Shard. I don't know what this Puck is spending gold on. Did he have the Sheep Stick?
He did not have the Sheep Stick. He bought that one fully out.
Okay.
He actually had his Magic Stick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he has the sort of the. I don't really know if that's necessary. They've probably already kept.
Well, it's mainly for the Invoker when he goes in there, because
true.
you can just Dream Coil him, and no matter what, they're gonna kill Mickey.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool way to play it, actually. I've really liked seeing that, because Puck is gonna be able to stay alive in the fight. The other thing to keep in mind here is we've sort of been watching the development of not only the Bristleback damage being increased, but also the Sand King. You know, he's got the max level Epicenter at this point. He didn't go for the slow, instead it's the Sandstorm DPS. And also Rubik is getting up towards these higher levels and getting towards more items. If they can start getting into that, I think the supports for Radiant do a little bit more late game consistently than you do from Penta. Like, if you hit a big Static Storm, the game's over. But if you don't hit that big Static Storm, it's not like Disruptor provides that much in the team fight.
I did say that it is the supports that. The thing is that your 2 racks is down, it's very difficult for supports to find farm easily, because like you can't really go. It takes you like 30 minutes to kill one single crit, especially because damage talent. So It's
He did go GPM though.
he
There
did
you
go
go.
GPM.
Just
And,
wait,
like,
how long?
Just imagine. So I mean, he probably got that in like 10 minutes, and it's been like 40 minutes since then. So it's like 2,400 golds, right? So
Brilliant thing. The wards are really starting to become more and more of an issue, I would say, though. Like, you take a look at these guys, they can almost deal with mega creeps, even if they did end up coming. It's pretty hard to mess with them.
yeah, I imagine that next Roche would 5 seconds. So in my opinion, should probably put it on the Lina. And just let her just like toss fireballs from a distance that she gets a double damage boot. She's got the full Bloodthorn completed, which I also wasn't sure if she would go Bloodthorn or go for the full Daedalus. But seeing as how Invoker has not gone for other things, I can understand why he went for the Bloodthorn. Invoker does have the BKB, but so it's a 5-second beat. So once the BKB times out, Bloodthorn him, going to go down even. Or, I mean, if you got the vision of the Venser, Venomancer blinks in and you may... It's a sitting duck.
Right. Those. Oh, they want to take to him, though. They realize if they just walk up to high ground, then they're going to be able to take the racks, no problem. Come with me, hanging out here in the trees, ready to fight this. If they could blow up one at the start, it would be absolutely huge. Looks like Loda is the one to bait.
Penta's playing it safe. They nearly have the Aghanim Scepter completed on Disruptor. Well, actually, he does. Side shot. So they have plenty of time left on the Aegis. The cheese on the Clockwork. They pretty much have all the tools necessary to finally confidently siege. They still can't. I don't think it's in their best interest to take on a full 5v5. They shouldn't. This smoke is necessary. It's
scary, scary stuff. They're there in front of Loda. You have the Abyssal Blade done as well for that Lycan. If they can find one of those juicy backline targets, it would be absolutely huge. There's the jump forward. They have caught him. That's the Invoker. He can't afford to go down right now. He's gone. Does have buyback, though. Maybe they can make something of this. And they actually stole Laguna Blade as well. All right, Loda, the one out there in the middle of nowhere, but they don't want to go on this guy. He's going to be able to tank through a ton of this damage.
He basically healed at the end of that fight. It was like a net HP increase.
They're burrowing. There's the Disruptor glimpse away. Penta feeling so confident, but they were able to pick off that Invoker and force the buyback.
Yeah, that was a good call. Initially, I was skeptical about that smoke because given how Lina had moved, previous invis attempt, she had gone straight up the mid, and that was not the right place to go. This time, they were on the outskirts, on the rim of the Radiant base, and then once Invoker finally emerged, then Puck immediately seized the opportunity. Because they saw Bristle in the mid lane. It's a pretty safe bet that at least like one hero is kind of chilling the top. Now they're gonna do it again.
They caught him once again. They've lifted up Bristle back in. They kill him. Oh my God, he just didn't stand a chance. The disarm is even off the mark, and well, that's going to be Skyder. He's got his BKB out, so however, not going to be able to be used at this point in time. They connect onto two with the Burrow Strike. That was needed. Gale there as well, slowed down. They end up doing almost any damage at all with that Laguna Blade, in fact. And, well, they end up stealing another one. That's a kinetic field. Jabs in trouble and going to be killed off. So, final tally ends up being the Disruptor down for nothing.
Well,
PNZ also going to get caught because he ran into one of those wards. But yes, Invoker now maybe going to catch out this Clockwork as well. Come with me. They do take him down. Yeah, good point. They did end up having to buy back on the Bristle.
And initially I was just like, this bot lane is proof. Which it was, Bristle did die, but then Penta, maybe it was too difficult for them to back out of the fight. Which I mean, when you bet heavily on a Bristle, then, or got the cheap stick off, and it was a heavy commitment. For a Bristle buyback, it's absolutely worth it. I mean, Clockwork death, no Disruptor death, no big. You'll take those trades.
Trying to force something here. The wards along the bottom lane are keeping it pressured out enough that at the very least they're able to get creeps onto the other side of the map, something we haven't seen all that often in a very long time. But will they be able to get anything else besides that? It looks like they're trying to pressure through the top, I guess.
There are still tier 2s. 60 minutes.
That's for me.
Yes, they don't have the best anti-push against a pipe, but they still have, like, pipe is not gonna save it. It's like Blazemon.
He has eclipsed the 10,000 net worth. His gold just barely passed the max MMR that we've got in the game right now. Lordy, lordy.
Still does, oh wait, like, okay. So then everyone's sharded up except
for Disruptor.
And, well, all the cores are. Right? I mean, he has what, like 250 damage on this puck? It's quite a bit.
At the very least, Puck and Lena should be buying wards.
Yes, that's absolutely true. That is definitely true.
63 minutes in. Game, you know, we thought it was tied to Alliance, the long, ridiculous games, but it's just Loda.
Maybe.
Oh, Burrow, they got one. This is the puck, lifted up. Can they pull him down? There's the base clockwork counter initiation. The pushback is there as well. All right, come with me controlled. He's able to force staff away. Glimmer Cape also, they don't take away the mana. Loda starting to drop low. Can they kill these off? Dream Coil's on to 3. The epicenter turnaround. Is it enough damage? It doesn't look like it. And Blazemon just gonna right click away. Mickey hides behind the tree. He's able to actually escape from there for the moment, and now the Static Storm is dropped down as well. Can they kill him off? That's 4 dead! Penta dropping like flies. What has happened? Oh my god. That was not the way to go.
I'm surprised they really wanted to fight. I mean, Puck was safe, most likely.
Are they gonna do this? Tsunami.
I am still skeptical. Until buybacks are consumed on the side of Dire, they cannot do it. That's for sure. But if you manage to get a dieback out of some of these heroes, then you've definitely got a victory on your hands. But not yet.
I mean, look at this, though. They're pressuring along the top lane. They have bots on all these guys. They can force in with the Lycan and maybe even go for the rat plays, but at the same time, if they keep all this pressure on just passively with wards, eventually something's going to crack.
True. Oh, wow. They want to go back. They want to go in on Loda, or never mind, Skeeter just...
He's got that talent anyways, plus 15 seconds on the duration,
yeah, that's
so...
True. So... Boy,
he's a wolf more than he's a person.
Yeah. Lena is starting to somewhat fall off, which is a bit disappointing for her, I imagine. She has all this gold and doesn't really know what to do with it. I mean, she's like pending, she has like a refresher pending, but there's no real good slot to put it in. It's debatable if you need the Bloodstone at this point, I guess, but there's too much burst damage that you can't really reliably like put it back into your backpack after you. If you die and you don't get that respawn time reduction, that I'm saying, like if you all of a sudden it's looking.
I mean, here's the thing, like, this type of a game, it's slow little bits of advantage that are built back up, and you look at this graph right now, right? 30,000 net worth lead. It's something that sort of, it's actually not that exactly. I don't know why it shows that on the map, but anyways, the big thing to me is that I feel like it was this point where Penta were so far ahead.
The number.
I know, isn't that weird, right? What's going on with this little indicator?
Well, I mean, supposedly according to the patches, it was just like, oh, okay, trust the HUD bar over grass because that updates. So
okay.
Did we just like, was that last fight really worth? I mean, it wouldn't be too surprising.
Or 6,000, yeah.
Okay, so then.
So that's the thing, though. Like, eventually, this uptick that we're gonna see in the graph is gonna be much more so. But the more important thing than even gold at this point, like the amount of gold that's just held in the inventory. There's 11,000 gold held in the inventory for the Lena, 4,000 in there for the Puck. They're kind of on parity, and I also feel like the net worth that's on the Radiant team is so much more valuable, right? Everything is like incredibly good. And you're about to get into a fresh BKB for the Bristleback.
It's something that actually most people don't really consider at late games. Is like, you do have to save for buyback, but then like you kind of need to mentally subtract that value from your worth because that net worth.
Right.
It's assumed that it will. Yeah, if you take away Blazemon's entire gold status right now and just assume he just has like a buyback, then almost like only a 10k net worth advantage in terms what PENTA. Same thing with Puck. Completely sorted out. About to encroach on 6k. Okay, now he has 6k going. Now he has 6.1. So a lot of his net worth is just like not so much there. He just bought a BKB, so that is an item, legitimate item, just gold. And it's gonna be a 10-second BKB, so I'm interested in that pickup. I thought he would have gone pressure instead for double Dream Coil, but yeah, BKB will help out somewhat.
Totally. And even just passing it back and forth between his slots, you know? That's the other way to make it happen.
That's true.
So 29 to 40, this next movement that we see as trying to secure themselves Roshan. Aegis matters, but also it's hard to put the Aegis on any of your cores. They want to go in now. This could be that defining moment in the game. Tornado, does it clip anybody? It actually gets the lift up. I don't know if that reveals them in smoke or not with, like, you know, the way that it shows the person being lifted up in the air.
That would be the third time they had gone for effectively the same play.
Yeah.
First time we saw them smoke, they got the invoke. The second time they smoked, they got... It's kind of learned.
And it's just like, how do you even approach this? Because on the one hand, you want to keep them hemmed in their base, right? But if you're so close to their base, it also, the opportunity of one of PENTA getting picked off becomes greater and greater.
Yeah, and there's no real one hero that you can like post up to just be like, okay, you just sit here and wait to find a... Puck is in theory kind of that hero, but the thing is that no one can follow up on it. Lina doesn't have anything like a Blip Dagger or Staff or a Hurricane Pike to quickly... Lycan doesn't have anything like a Blip Dagger or even like a, some sort of to help quick get this, so...
They're on the high ground. Vision-wise, do not see this for the Radiant. Dire spot out one. They've caught themselves Loda. This is not the target you want to go on. Lotus Orb from Loda, or onto Loda, keeps them alive as well outside the Sheep Stick. Blazemon being revealed again here. They're able to push out top lane while this is happening. These little moments where it's like one keystroke and suddenly it could be over.
I don't think that Cool Beans can contest this Roche to the lane far too heavily. Way too much in. Roche is pretty swole right now.
Oh yeah.
But still.
And I talked about the idea of going for an axe. I love this pick on Rubik going for the Lotus Orb instead. I feel like it's such a better decision.
Disruptor Aegis.
All right.
Very legitimate. I mean, he has that Aghanim Scepter,
yeah.
and so it's important. I don't know if 2 pipes is really the play. Yes, they do. Like, there's no like stacked cooldown anymore, so Clockwork has one, Disruptor has one. I feel like maybe Blink Dagger would have been a little bit better on Disruptor instead, but I guess maybe at this stage of the game, you're not really going to be able to find good Blink glimpses, so yeah, I don't know. He goes for the pipe, it's fine. There's a lot of magic with this Aghanim Scepter Blade Venom Reserve, so let's see if this is enough to push high ground. First me with
I mean, look at this. They've got wards here with like significantly more HP than the tower, but the tower's down to 16 HP. They just do not want to give it up. Like, I mean, who cares if you give them a little bit more gold at this point, right?
They don't know what to do with this gold. Why can't I hold all this gold?
Oh man. Yeah, this is a silly game, but at the same token, you can't really give it up. It's so important these matches.
CO1s. Strike, top lane.
X. Oh, Sand King. Too far out. He does have buyback, but you'd hate to have to use it, but now you might have to. There's the lift up, the Dream Coil onto 2. They break the tether, and that's going to be a long duration. Skyder's on top of me, has an Abyssal Blade as well if he wants to use it. The bash is there as well. Didn't even need to use it through the first instance. Now the Cheat's going to be used as well. Static Storm down. Can they get out of here? The E-Blade, but it's not going to be enough. They have the Dagon to find the kill. Buybacks on everybody. That's going to be the lift up. The Lycan. Can he get out of there? The Burrow Strike connects, and they have been able to catch him. Take him down, another one. Very well done. They still have several more buybacks, though, on the Dire team. Actually, wait, Clockwork doesn't have one? Oh, no. Well, they take down the Disruptor here as well, I believe.
Okay, no,
That's also really big.
Matters.
The two supports, no buyback, and they don't get the barracks.
They don't really get much. The tier 3 tower was already pretty much certified dead. They get a buyback on Radiant out of the Venomancer, the Invoker, and Venomancer and Invoker. 3 buybacks.
But let's look real quickly. Like they have a lot of damage, but the ability to control is so much less now without those heroes. Like you have Dream Coil, which is going to be good, but I feel like they can kind of collapse onto Alina and blow her up, right?
Yes, absolutely. Which is why I don't think that they are going to challenge this. And Lycan honestly may not even buy back until they start going for tier 4s, because even if Lycan buys back, what does he really do? KB timing is way too short. The Radiant Courier dies.
Boogie. Alright, if he gets out here, this is big.
Yeah, I mean, there's not
Or
much
rather, if he doesn't get out here, then
he can't bash or anything.
I thought maybe that Rubik was going to be able to get in range.
He's getting kind of irritated, but Loda went back. So, yeah.
This ends up working out fine for them. That distraction, Loda heading back to try and stop it.
Yeah, I don't know why Loda went back. That's, like, there's no way he can kill Puck.
Maybe they were worried about the Puck being able to go in and just take down the barracks.
I'll take your
There's no way a Puck can out-damage backdoor reach either. Unless if he, like, went to the enemy base, bought an AC Desolator with all of his extra gold, which I wouldn't put it past a Puck with 120 GPM, 420 GPM to do it, but yeah, even if they did manage to break the tier 4 and take a Rax, at most it just lightens the pressure up, but it doesn't really shift the game in their favor by any means.
Well, there are refreshers abound at this point. You got a refresher on the Lina, you got a refresher on the Puck. What's the sickest refresher? Is it just like the BKB or?
I think double Dream Coil is like super value.
Yeah. Because
usually like after the first Dream Coil drops, then like as it is, the rest of your team that didn't get Dream Coil, they want to protect those that did get Dream Coil. They'll come roughly into the vicinity. You drop the second one, and then the people who were Dream Coil the first time now have 2 tethers that they need to be careful about breaking, and the people who came as backup are now tied in as well. So I think that that's super value.
Venn diagram of pain.
Exactly.
Alright, tornadoes again thrown. They're trying to keep Penta off of these barracks. Looks like they will be able to do just that. Melee is regenning. Still, all you need is just a couple of seconds for Penta to blow these guys up, but it is not going to be easy in the least bit. Still looking for that avenue to get in. Is Invoker buying a second? Oh, he's buying a refresher, of course.
Can we, so let's take a quick stock of these. Rubik, like you said, Lodestar, that's supposed to be an Aghanim Scepter, which I do agree with. I thought that was oh, never mind, Initiation, bot lane, they're going in.
They got him. My god, Boogie, him dying right there,
they
want to go.
Lina.
This is a possibility here. They're fighting while they're going for some backdoor plays onto the barracks. Blazemon trying to turn to fight. That is still going to be the Lycan going, but they're able to get the glyph off, and now Lina disarmed, in trouble, has to suicide. She'll be back very shortly. 38 seconds. They take down the melee, or the ranged barracks rather, and now trying to turn onto it. The Yule Scepter lift up. They got him controlled. Burrow Strike onto 2. The Static Storm is down. It's not going to be used to control. And now with this Lycan dropping as well, potentially. Now he's just going to be able to run away from there for the moment. But they do take down that Disruptor.
Oh, come with me. He doesn't have a blink dagger. The tornado's going to spawn and cancel it.
They end up canceling the TP. Does he end up going down? Yes, he has buyback though, so it's still going to be okay. This is, I think that that's a worthy trade. You still have your melee barracks, and I don't think they can push out the lanes quickly enough.
And Glyph was spent on that as well. So
yeah.
Lina is back. Hope Blazemon just chills and doesn't go for anything crazy. But yeah, they threw bodies, and It was a pretty smart play, like you said, kind of splitting it up. A decoy play of the puck in the bot lane, Lina. Those are two pretty tanky cores that it takes a lot of effort to kill. And the Mass Yules is a tried and true strategy against Leica. One that, you know, it's super irritating to have to play against, but it works.
Do you think they go all in here? That's, or at least try and force out the buybacks. Like each time they've stepped up to the plate, but they haven't really took a swing.
The problem is that if they lose, then they 100% lose the game. Whereas, in theory, as much as I hate saying it,
Don't mind if I do.
they're not, like, it's nearly impossible for them to win the game once Megas comes out, but they won't lose guaranteed to Megas. So really, it's just like, you're in purgatory.
That is frustrating.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they are still keeping these lanes pressured out. You wouldn't expect them to only have one barracks left. Top lane also is pushing on its own with this giant creep wave, so maybe it's going to be time. Back for it. So he's got his refresher now, I guess. But Invoker can't be out there with the rest of his team. Yeah, they're just going to back out again, farm up the rest of the map. For that next tier of items, chillin'. And the Ag's done for Rubik. Along with the level 25, yeah, it went for the PR.
Do you know how many Loda matches I've kept in my
How
ever
many?
so brief career? Okay, so it's not so much how many. Cumulative minutes I have casted of Loda is, like, I wish I could get some Dota stats on that, because it is almost certainly like leaps and bounds higher than any other player. I don't know what it is, these teams that he's on, but never really win, but they never really lose either.
Oh no. Yeah. He does it. He knows how to make a game interesting.
It's very true.
Okay. Smoke movement in towards the Roche pit. Does not respond as of yet.
1 minute. Buybacks coming off cooldown for nearly everyone in about 1 month. Well, but I don't really think it's even in Penta's best, I mean, yet again, I don't think it's in Coolbean's best interest to contest the Roche. Go.
Oh, another one. They've caught him. That's going to be a lift up. The
What a
Static
deafening
Storm, they're
blast.
actually going to be able to get out of that. The Deafening Blast comes out. They're all disarmed. They have the Venom ulti as well. Onto two of them. The Lycan trying to get on top of them. But there's the E-Blade to keep them alive for the moment. DNZ trying to end up getting some type of control, but there's the lift up. Lotus Orb pushing him back. And now he's going to be fine. There's the blink away. Venom's still trying to escape. They get the Abyssal Blade off onto him, though.
Nice,
and another Light
Rubik.
Strike Ray. They're able to keep him back. The Rubik is doing all the
You'll
work in the
cheat
world. They got
something.
him. They got him caught. The Piggy's pretty quick, but can they run him down? There's the lift back. They're going to be able to pull him into this, and they do run him down, kill him off. And another fight going their way. Now they can chase. They can run forward and maybe force out some more buybacks. Somehow, some way, Radiant is winning these engagements.
Alright, that was extremely well executed. That was like the best team fight I've seen all qualifier long from EU specifically in like such a situation when you're down this far. Amazing Deafening Blast. Walk out of the Static Storm, which maybe Disruptor could have placed that a little bit better. I mean, like, it's a shock that Invoker was even able to pull it off, but he gets the Deafening Blast. Support kept him alive the entire time, and now they're ready to start knocking on high ground. 2 buybacks come out. Lycan's holding on to his.
This is the play. They're able to take this one down. If they could force out this Lycan buyback, it would be another win in the books for them. They force out a Glyph also. Okay. Silenced again, but still fine. Sand King TP'ing in. They want to try and take this fight. Almost 80 minutes into the game, and a first tower on high ground has fallen of the Dyers. Can Loda keep up the pressure? Mickey and the squad back him up. It looks like they're going to back out and finally take down the Shrines at just about that 80-minute mark. And Penta could try and chase this here if they want
He has
to.
hookshot. He's thinking about it.
I mean, you'd have to buy back the Lycan if you want to fight. Maybe they try and fight around Lycan being back up, but this is also Roche up. No, they're not going to go for it. Too risky. And now it's suddenly the Dire are the 3 heroes without buybacks. It's actually the Disruptor, but he'll have his with gold, so it's going to be 2 in the next engagement. If Clockwork and Puck die, that's where you start to put yourself in a position to actually finish off the game.
Oh wow, and Lycan buys a refresher orb, which is that not only does buyback. So like a refresher orb. I actually don't know if Howl stacks. I don't know if it refreshes the duration. I want to say that it refreshes the duration. But even, I mean, like, it's 80 minutes in the game. Howl's not the biggest deal. They're gonna take this Roche on instead of the Tornado is spent to put 3-wave. Puck takes the Aegis, has too many items to count, actually has opted to drop a gem, got dust instead. So, I mean, I'm sure he probably lost the gem. Oh, Bristle.
All right, we've taken a look at all the 25
Who doesn't
talents.
have a refresher in this game?
That's a good point. Also, level 25s, only the Disruptor is left without it.
Oh, okay.
And you know, it might actually be one of the games with a 30% magical resistance would be worth it. If you stack that up with Type, like, he then has, what, constantly 82% magical resistance?
Yeah, but, like, Disruptor's not getting into fights. He's just on the outside of the fights. Whenever Disruptor dies, he is usually, like, the last person to...
Okay, that's
and
fair
so it doesn't really matter how... 4 Thunderstrikes, so let's see that. So it becomes 8 Thunderstrikes, it becomes overall 800 damage, but more importantly, it's 8 seconds, I'm assuming, of vision, unless if it just double strikes.
It should be 8 seconds of vision on top of that, yes.
Okay, so that's pretty good. Especially, like, I mean, he's not finding going for 8 seconds. They are probably going to run to the max range clip, so you definitely can do it. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for that one instead.
Well, this game is insanity encapsulated. I clearly did not have enough monster before this game. Wow, indeed, Sania. Oh, and now it's down to only an 11k. Look at this graph! What is happening?
Blazemon has 17,000 gold, so really that graph should be even higher. That graph is technically 6k advantage for Cool Beans. Take out Blaze. Piggy bank.
So I think that the biggest comeback ever was somewhere in the neighborhood of 38,000 net worth.
It was like Mineski or something? Or
I think that it was a Chinese game.
Oh, really? I thought it was a...
I could be wrong.
A Chuan, I mean, not Chuan, a Mushi game.
It might have been. It very well could have been. But regardless, this would be up there if they were able to bring it back. And how cool would it be if the team to do it was Cool Beans? Go down in the annals of history.
Books, that's right. Just got frickin'
Oh, God. Bean Boys. Classic. All right, 40 to 43. Rubik is continuing to just run around shapeshifted. The cutest little wolf in the world. Look at his little animation down there. It's not tall enough.
Oh, he finally completed that Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, he got that a little while ago, actually.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's any really great ones. Probably Clockwork Hook is great. Disruptor Ulti's
Disruptor
amazing.
Ult's the main thing. Laguna Blade would be nice. Dream Coil, yes. I mean, surprisingly, all these ults are...
I mean, they all have Ags, so...
Correct.
He gets more value from his Ags, whatever. Get all. All right. What else do we need now? I mean, they have Aegis on Puck. Like, when do PENTA feel comfortable to push forward? Like, how does this game end? Ancient Fallen, but where do we go further there?
The problem is that PENTA at no point, like, push.
Right.
So for the next 3 minutes, you're gonna... Then you see them feeling marginally more confident to go for another push. Then most certain...
Thanks. Illusion.
Coming in.
Which you have bonus night vision.
Oh yeah, there you go. You end up getting that.
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sad trombone indeed.
I would be pretty sad Trump. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they still probably are going to win this game, but, like, should not have. Yes.
I mean, do you
Nothing
really
should
think
be like this.
Nothing should be like this? Do you really think that it is something where like they are definitely still the ones that are in the lead?
Unless if they play, the only way they lose is if they misplay. And
Really?
I mean, like, that's like a very, like, vague way to put it. Like, there's a big umbrella of what a misplay entails.
Okay.
But the specific misplay is if they buy back and then proceed to, like, BOT back into the fight and then That's really the only way I see them losing this fight. I mean, losing this game. They will continue to lose fights, almost certainly, but losing the game dependent on some very snowbally tactics.
Alright, I just got a little bit of a
Shipments.
ship. LD brought me in a monster. I messaged everybody to ask if I could get it, so that's, you know, we're getting to that level, everybody.
Yeah, but that's the problem, Mickey, that not all dead.
They're loving it. They're having a lot of fun. I think if I'm in one of these games, you know, 85 minutes into it, you know that it's going to be going crazy. No, you're not.
The only person who may be having fun is Puck, just because to see your gold stack up so much. I'm actually very curious, because, like, oftentimes you get...
Whoa.
Oh, Radiant...
Okay.
It's to a...
And we end up getting a sheep stick and everything else along with it. My goodness.
So where, I don't know what the courier bind is.
It was on Sand King, so I'm guessing that he is going to be going back now for that sheep stick. It would have been completed.
No, but where did the courier...
I don't know. You can't even check that with the courier bind, actually.
Are you sure?
Take you to
Wait,
it.
press the courier bind on...
Bam.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, 40 to 43.
It's
a rough life.
day 27.
Oh, here it is. We got rapier time.
Oh?
Rapier time for
Word?
Lycan.
Word?
Well, let's see if they could do it. I don't know if that changes anything though.
It changes nothing.
It's like he has nothing
Honestly,
else to do
okay,
at this
so
point.
that's actually a liability, if
Yeah.
anything else, because like...
Well, who would carry it for the Radiant? Like, probably the...
Bristle? Yeah, I mean, Bristle, he can drop that pipe. Or wait, does he even have the pipe anymore? Yeah, so, I mean, look at... I don't know why he's still holding on to the pipe.
I think he pops pipe and then switches over the blade mail.
I say, yeah, you pop pipe, you switch the blade mail, you put the boots, oh.
This is becoming...
This is a tricky one.
This is a mini game
Yeah,
inside of Dota.
Yeah, this is a logic puzzle. It's like one of those things where you're like, and the bird can't go on the boat at the same time, but you put the cat on the island or whatever and you alternate. Yeah, so like, I don't know what the order is, to be honest, but Rapier seems like a liability. He can backdoor a little bit more effectively, but like, technically a Desolator is a much safer option, and it's also...
The wheels are coming off! The teams are done!
Wobbly-ah!
This is when you need more chat wheel options, so that
really
way you
do.
remain sanity. You maintain sanity.
Or you know what this should be?
Oh, they're buying rapiers.
New chat wheel options should unlock the longer the game is. So like if you reach 80 minutes, you suddenly get all lines or something like that.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing, Lena. I think Bloodstone for rapier. What do you think of that?
I say activate BK. Oh wait, no, but you can't swap it. Oh wait. Yes, we kept like theory crafting all this your swap backpack. I guess yeah, Bloodstone. Because at that point, like, do you even really care about your mana regen? Like, LSA is 130 mana. You will almost certainly have more than enough LSAs. If the fight lasts long enough that you run out of mana, something has gone wrong. If you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Bloodstone's
the only thing that could be a little bit scary is maintaining stacks without a ton of mana.
That and the fact that she will die quicker.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have.
Hook shot and creeps for the fun of it. And everybody has buybacks at this point too.
Sure.
So I guess that the big weight is now going to be towards Roshan. Do you think that this is just free for Penta whenever they want to go for it, or is it more along the lines of they actually can't go in because Cool Beans would contest at this point?
They may not contest, but the threat of the contest may be enough. You only really need to... Was Roshan 44 armor right now, 16,000 HP. I think you can just send the Lycan and the other heroes do stuff, and that should be safe enough. I don't think they should 5-man into that. Makes it way too obvious.
Whoa. Alright, we talked about who doesn't have a refresher. Disruptor has gotten into one now.
Yeah.
I bet he's wishing he had Midas now.
Most sir, I bet everyone wishes.
Oh, he did it! He took the magic resistance!
Wow. I don't think that's the right play.
Oh.
Shot, what? Oh.
Oh.
That's okay. He's just...
That's a.
I
Oh,
was
you
like,
mean him dying.
I
Okay.
miss those old times. And he's just like, remember, like, you know, several hours ago when I used to die all the time?
Yeah. It's back.
The throwback. Meanwhile,
They caught
okay,
Blazemon.
whoa.
This is a big one.
Okay.
If they can manage to do it,
Oh
the
my God,
bots level
everyone is
2,
coming in!
there! This is not the way you want it to be. Oh, the new meta. Everybody bots is onto the Sand King who kills them.
Straight Power Rangers onto that, but yeah, but this freaking Sand King was like a clown car. Like, it just one person, and all of a sudden, like 5 heroes emerge out of him. But guess what? None of it matters because neither of these heroes will probably have to buy back.
You know what that is? That's the meta that evolves from playing so many games like this. Loda was inside
true.
the head. He knew what to do.
I was born in the late games, molded by it.
All right, so 90 minutes in now, there is these two buybacks.
They should let this Rax go. It's not worth the buy. If you lose one Rax, that's fine. If they go for tier 4s, then Clockwork has to back.
Dire's middle barracks are under
We'll see if they end up giving it away for free. I would imagine that right now, Cool Beans realize this as well. They're going to be able to take down a Rax, finally alleviate some of that pressure.
Now what? That's the real.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
All right, guys, see you later. See you in a couple minutes. Oh, do they? I thought I heard a smoke for a second there. Doesn't look like it actually. No, they're just gonna go take out this other shrine now.
That would be a pretty sick take. Actually, yeah. That would... Slots for a smoke though.
Yeah, that's a good point. This is where you need that other courier as well.
Yeah, that's.
It doesn't look like they're that interested in Roshan either.
It's too much of a lie. None of their heroes take as fast as Pentas. Like, pretty stacked. It's like not really stacked, like dealing less damage to Puck right now. Right click wise.
Well done,
So,
game.
Abyssal Blade done also. He swapped that out for the pipe. It's so hard to theory craft what the actual like end game items end up looking like for all of these heroes, because I think one of the strongest parts about this Puck late game is that he can switch up what he wants so many different times. I think they just fed over a Moon Shard to the Disruptor. Yes, he did. Right, Moon Shard for Disruptor. And Clockwork.
This man is happy as a clam right now. He doesn't have buyback though, so really they should like take a step back and let this man get his farm on. But, you know, they're probably not planning on fighting for the next 10
Lena
minutes
bought
anyway.
a new Bloodstone.
Whoa! I've never seen that before.
Okay.
I've never seen that before, but that's actually very amusing. Where's the other? Oh, he just sold the other one?
Yeah, he sold the other one, bought a new one.
He just
has all
threw
the
it in the
gold.
trash? He was just like, this one's stale. It doesn't have enough charges on it.
They're buying tomes as well now. Why are they buying tomes? What is he doing?
Listen, reading is good for you. You should always read.
Yeah.
Kids at home, there should be like, you know, those motivational posters. Little Skeeter's gonna be inside the room. This is the right place.
Although, Loda, big bad man. He's a spooky one. You don't want to go near this bristleback.
Bot lane is pushing, so Penta can afford to stall out. Someone needs to go. Lot of.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, they're not going to be able to burst Bristleback quick enough that they can't bots onto him. Although if you bots onto the Bristle, maybe that's when you double refresh your Static Storm.
Yeah.
So the plays and the counter plays.
That's true.
Ooh, in this? Do they have the tech here? They still have the gem, right? Yeah, Puck still has the gem.
Yeah, that's another. Gems are becoming expensive to hold now because Sand King is also holding onto this gem. I believe he has a Dagon on the. There are 4 gems in the Radiant base right now. I could have sworn I saw Sand King buy a Dagon, but he doesn't have one. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe he sold it.
Maybe.
He wanted the Shadow Blade instead.
Was curious.
Yeah, he's still hanging out here. The rest of the team is not in the area, so they're going to have to give up yet another Roshan. It's not easy to take again. You mentioned it. Currently sitting at 41 armor, 16,000 HP. Will finally go down, but 94 minutes. I believe the longest game so far in the qualifier. I think it's the longest game I've ever cast before.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, you did that really long one. Yeah, back.
And you know who was playing in that one?
Yeah, I think we talked about it. Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're all TPing in now. They've got him. They're going to be there. When he lands, though, it's going to be a big stun. They got him caught there. The full Invoker combo's coming out. The BKBs are there immediately, though. And now the Static Storm onto 2. That's going to break the coil. He's in trouble. The Invoker's going to go down. They're gone for 2 minutes, but they do both have buyback. And they bring down Loda in time. They have the buyback right now as well on the Invoker. They're still all stacked up. The BKBs are low. Can they get the burst strike? Was it going to be enough damage? They come in again. The Tornado is not quite there. Triple buyback is now on the mark, and Penta getting out. They're able to interrupt that hook shot still.
Oh,
the second pressure! They got it caught! Oh, there's going to be a drop down coil as well.
Push him out!
Push him out. I think he's still going to end up going down there. There's too much damage
But
coming in
Loda's
from
still
the
alive!
Lina. The die back from the Invoker. Can they possibly hold on to it? I don't think it's going to happen. This could be the beginning of the ruination.
Loda's getting bashed. He needs to get away from this Lycan. Neek was on the run, but he's going to go down as well. Jabs is about to die. They're all falling.
I think that this is going to be possibly the end. They run him down yet again. Loda trying to turn it up, though. They stole the hook shot. They turn it back around. They buy back on the Lina now. It's still 100 seconds, though, with no Invoker. It's so hard to hold on to this at this point, but they possibly can hold on against the Megas if it needs to come to that. Actually control it for the moment. Are they going to bring him down? They end up taking down that Lycan.
He's going for Megas, though.
All right, that's going to be the dead. They bring him down. Megas are finally there. Buybacks on everybody. Clockwork does another hook shot, but the silence, the Glimmer Cape, trying to back out and get away. They are still going to be able to run him down. Bristleback, Loda, is it going to be, if they take down the Sand King, he comes back again. It's not going to be enough damage yet. Blazemon still trying to get away. They have the coil. They ended up turning that back against the Lycan. They might be able to bring him down. No, he's gone with the shapeshift. The
Another one!
Stacked again. They glimpse him back and away, and Lina's able to make the retreat, but still is going to be holding on at least for Megas. The game is not over yet, and it looks like they need to get back to defend. The chase has gone on long enough.
Wow, I'm actually surprised that Penta's backing off. This is their best opening. I mean, like, even if they
all buybacks used.
Yeah, so even if Penta does die again, I think that there's like enough Mega Creep momentum that they can wait for their... I don't know. but I'm really surprised that they back off, because like Loda was desperate to get something done. Like he went all the way to the river to find something, but Disruptor had come back. He put down the kinetic fields, and after the initiation, I mean, the Clockwork really kicked off the whole thing by starting off on that Rubik, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Rubik ultimately showed who the real Clockwork is.
He got more hook shots than him.
Insania was my MVP in that fight. There is no way that Cool Beans would have stayed in that fight.
Oh, Spidey sense is tingling, but will be caught. Can he burrow? Can he get out of there? He's silenced and is going to drop 128 seconds. No Sand King. You can't give up any more than that.
No, you cannot.
That's the limit. And Rubik back up soon. Even still, it might be spooky. What is there? They're trying to keep this assault onto the towers. Skyder, he gets lifted up. They will have the Abyssal when he comes back down. They use it now, starting to deal the damage. They get a bash as well. He's taking a lot of it. They bring him down. The combo connects. He doesn't have buyback, but can they bring down the Invoker? He's going to drop. They find that kill. He's gone for 98 seconds. Can they keep this throne alive? They're trying to bring down Loda. He is so freaking taking this Bristleback to Blade Mail as well, turning the damage back against Blazemon as well. He's starting to walk away, down to 600 HP. They take down that Disruptor. He's gone for 2 minutes. Somehow Loda is hanging on in this fight, and the towers are still not falling. Do they have a glyph? They have one, but they don't want to commit it as of yet, saving that at least for the moment. They turn it back around. Still, he's just taking up so much damage. This guy is freaking immortal. They're never killing him off. Blazemon ends up getting Abyssal Blade. They're doing a lot of damage. Can they do it? Can they take him down? The damage is coming onto the Ancient. They're trying to bring it down. Clockwork with the Moon Shard, the value. Can they do it? They still don't have enough damage. Somehow it's holding on. Blazemon turns onto it. They need to take down that Lina, but they have to force him back out. Everybody is dead. Lina might end up going down as well. Can they get her? They have another Abyssal Blade, possibly. No, he doesn't, but he might be able to get it back. There it is. They got it. They're all dead. They're going to end up dropping. Can they kill
can't
her
find
off?
her. She comes back.
What? There it is.
Oh my
There's
God.
the kill. They're all going down, and the Ancient is still going to stand. 50 seconds, but there is no way to push out those lanes quickly enough. I don't think somehow Cool Beans hang on and kill off every damn person. What the fuck is happening?
Welcome to Loaded Dota. This is Loaded Dota 101. So this is welcome to Purgatory. This is what I said. You are having to repent for your sins right now because I can't envision a way that they can win this game against Megas at this point because they can. The only way this works is if someone gets inside of their enemy base and they all BOT onto them or something, and they manage to go straight for tier 4. The problem is all the death timers that are coming back now. Lycan's back, Lena's back, and in a 5v5 engagement, like Penta are still very, very slippery. Like Puck can bounce around. Lena is going into the Silver Edge, and like, does anyone still have the gem? Okay, so Sanking has the gem on raid. But I'm actually surprised that she went in to kill that Rubik. She went into the Silver Edge and no one had any detection for her. The gem was down on the ground, but she went to finish off the Rubik. She died. Not that big of a deal. She had bought that fresh Bloodstone and so respawned relatively quickly. Now it's 5 on 5. All 10 buybacks, 9 buybacks expended. Clockwork is the only person, and quite yet.
I mean, all these lanes are pushed out right now. They are assaulting the mid. They obviously have boots of travel.
Radiant are moving in.
Like, this is something where conceivably if you win a fight right now, the game is over for either team. The question is, do Radiant try and push that fight onto their opponent's high ground?
Well, there's no
like,
way
they still have shrines.
Like, they will, like, it's, you have to take these YOLO plays.
Yeah. Pause. Let's think about it for a moment,
okay,
guys.
Let's
take a moment.
Have a powwow. All right, good sesh. Good huddle.
Let's take our medicine, folks. Jeez. This is the point where I want to all chat. Just. That's how you get kicked out of games, by the way. That's how you lose your job.
Yeah, that's very true.
Okay. So let's take a moment to think about this now. We've got the full assortment of
they don't have
abilities.
All 5 heroes. So
but
like,
I mean, they can be there in an instant, right? Like, you know, Boots of Travel level 2.
True.
I guess if you bots in, though, that means you can't bots back to defend.
That's not an issue anymore.
Okay.
If you don't win this fight, you lose regardless. So like, even in a base race situation, and like unless of like Necro or like Beastmaster Hawks were an issue or something like that that can like sneak into your base, that's really the only thing. Like you said, all 3 lanes are pushed. The bot lane is the closest one, but
All right. Oh, they hook shot in. There's the lift immediately. Static Storm down, but they got the BKB off, and they're actually out of there for the moment. Skyder trying to go in. He's actually blocking off from Nico. He's not able to get in on top of him. They want to try and take him down. Invoker force taps the high ground. He's going to be able to back away. They kill off the Puck. They might be able to do more. There's another hook shot in. They're still controlling Mickey on this Invoker. Bristleback standing tall. He almost takes it down. They get the kill. They're going to be able to get 3. They might be able to go for more. This is going to be the tier 4.
That's it.
They don't have an answer. Oh, Loda. The rest of Cool Beans Dota, they ended up doing it.
Why did he hook shot in?
They take him down. That's going to be a lift up. Can they do this? Just hit the goddamn barracks. 102 minutes into it, Cool Beans Dota 2 are going to do it against Penta.
It doesn't matter. Let Puck have his fun because the game is over.
God, how do you throw that? Yes, indeed, Meke. Yes, indeed. They're all dead.
Can we get LD in here real quick?